NPF President Dr. Shirozile Legislature stated that it cannot be agreed at the moment to use Hindi as an alternative to English in Nagaland because it is impossible in its totality. The President in his statement on April 10 pointed out that it is the ground reality and that there's no other option at the moment. Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga political issue delegations led by Chief Minister Nltv are set to have discussions with Union Home Minister Amit Shah along with few central leaders in national's capital. Eastern Naga Students Federation decides to take further course of action following Government of Nagaland's failure to address its demands for inclusion of exempted departments and posts under Nagaland Staff Selection Board Regulation 2020. Kharkiv shelling kills 2 and injures several on Saturday. Russian forces carries out 66 artillery attacks across several regions. As fighting becomes increasingly fierce in these regions, authorities urges residents to evacuate. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson meets with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Saturday on an unannounced trip to Kiev to show solidarity with Ukrainian people. Prime Minister Johnson pledges to provide additional financial and military aid to Ukraine in a bid to bolster its resistance against Russian invasion. Hello viewers of Nagaland, I'm Rinki Gogoi and you're watching Nltv Primetime News. Let's see more of the news in details. NPF President Dr. Shirozile Legislature stated that it cannot be agreed at the moment to use Hindi as an alternative to English in Nagaland because it is impossible in its totality. The President in his statement on April 10 pointed out that it is the ground reality and that there's no other option at the moment. Dr. Shirozile Legislature further stated that they are aware that Hindi is the national language, but imposition on the people who do not know the language will only amount to alienation, which may not certainly be in the interest of the nation. He also added that they are not against Hindi, but as of now, Hindi teachers in Nagaland are mostly ex-servicemen from Assam Regiment. The Eastern Naga Students Federation has decided to take further course of action following the failure of the state government to address its demands for inclusion of the exempted departments and posts under Nagaland Staff Selection Board Regulation 2020. The student body issued a press release on April 9 stating that it received a stone-cold response from the Personnel and Administrative Reforms Department to its 30-day ultimatum served to the state government on February 24, 2022 to fulfill its charter of demands. Therefore, the federations have held a crucial meeting with its 7 federating units: Chang Wedoshi Setsang, Hyamnungan Students Union, Konak Students Union, Pom Students Conference, Tikir Students Union, United Sanctum Students Conference, and Yimkyum Akeru Arihako, along with ENPO, ENWO, ENSF advisors, legal advisors, and intellectuals from Eastern region were in the House after their adverse discussion on the present content of the NSSB regulations unanimously resolved to proceed with further course of action until such exempted departments and posts are incorporated. The Chief Minister of the Northeast states have greeted the people of their respective states on the occasion of Ram Navami. Greeting the people of Assam, Chief Minister Hemonto Biswa Sarma tweeted, "May Marayada Puroshittama Prabhu Sri Ram bless all with good health, peace and prosperity and guide all towards the path of Dharma." And meanwhile, Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad Sangma took down to Twitter and wrote, "Warm greetings to everyone on the occasion of #Ram Navami." On the other hand, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu greeted everyone through his Twitter account. Tripura Chief Minister Biplab Deb also greeted everyone and asked for the Lord Rama's blessings for everyone and to bless everyone with happiness and prosperity. Meanwhile, Chief Minister of Sikkim P.S. Tamang conveyed his warm greetings and best wishes to the people of Sikkim on the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami. Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh also conveyed his greetings to all. Pro-tem executives were installed on March 28 to help restructure the Lota Baptist Churches Association. Pro-tem executives have started with the required reconstructing and administering the association. The theme is said to hold office for a period of 6 months. LBCA Pro-tem Executive Secretary Reverend Dr. Isamwa Murray stated that the way of administration under a group of leaders caused chaos in LBCA and that no religious or civil bodies could question or stop the administration. However, the apex body Lota Hoho created the jolt and made the cue for a group of ministerial elders, naming them pro-tem groups, to help and resolve the ongoing issues by 6 months and recover the normal functioning of LBCA. The pro-tem invited all churches associations under LBCA to Okotso village, where majority of churches supported the change in the administration, while some were not in favor of the majority. The new team include Reverend Zanao Mojiwe, Pro-Tem President, Reverend Elise Lota, Pro-Tem Vice President, Reverend Dr. Benry Lota, Reverend Dr. Ezamo Murray, Reverend Ezambemo Audio, Reverend Sankilema Kikon, and 4 other members. Parliamentary Core Committee on Naga Political Issues delegations led by the Chief Minister Nipuriyo will be leaving for Delhi by Monday to meet Union Home Minister Amit Shah and other central leaders to discuss on the Naga political issue. The Secretary of PCC-ONPI, the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Land Revenue and Planning and Coordination, Neba Krono, stated that after the meeting, opinions of the members were taken and the meeting of the core committee with the WC, NNPG and NSC and IM leaderships held on April 4 was updated to the members. Krono stated that the delegations led by Rio, including UDA Chairman T.R. Zeliang and Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, will be meeting Amit Shah and other leaders in Delhi. Krono said that the members also deliberated about the recent meetings held with the Working Committee of the NNPGs and the NSC and IM. Krono stated that the meeting was likely to have more sittings with Working Committee, NNPGs and the NSC and IM.
Not taken any resolution, but the core committee was meeting now and then with NMTGs and then IM leadership also. So actually the parliamentary core committee that consists of all these MLAs and then the MPs. So after we meeting the NMPGs and then IM leadership, we have to update our friends, all the honorable members. Now our Chief Minister and then UDA Chairman and Deputy CM, who is already in Delhi, they'll go to Delhi, so that whoever goes to Delhi, what message we have to send it to the government of India. So that is what we have discussed. We have shared our mind, and as of today there was no resolution, it was just like that. So there I have stated earlier, we have shared our inner minds. There's what they are talking in their own level also, from our own level also, that we have shared. But there also, there was no such concluding remarks that we will go for this or that. we have just share our inner mind. That's what I've explained. So that is why, even in a day or two, we will be sharing more of our mind. And today also, yes, of course, we could not make a new resolution, but that was just, we have taken the opinion of our friends.
Demand.
That last time, as I've said, that is, we're just a facilitator.
On the occasion of Palm Sunday, Chief Minister Nltv took down to Twitter and extended his greetings to all. He mentioned, "May the beginning of the Holy Week bring blessings of renewed hope." Notably, Palm Sunday is a Christian movable feast that falls on the Sunday before Easter. The feast commemorates Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem, an event mentioned in each of the 4 canonical Gospels. Palm Sunday marks the first day of the Holy Week. In a one-day selection event under 18 held on 9th April 2022 at Kiksal Chhatarpur, New Delhi, Mongsu Tungoi from Nagaland has been selected to go to Spain for further screening and selection. The selection was held by the International Soccer Showcase. The selected players will attend training sessions and will be coached to UEFA standards and will be exclusively showcased to European and World Football Club scouts. The Tikir Students' Union has been inducted as the 7th federating unit of the Eastern Naga Students' Federation during the 21st Federal Assembly 2022 held at ITC Dan in Noklak on March 4. Notably, the body updated it had welcomed the Tikir Students' Union as one of its units. The ENSF informed that the induction program of TSU was held at the Conference Hall, Duda Guest House in Kohima on April 8, wherein Tivan Tikir, Suchemshi and Jong Yantong were inducted as Assistant General Secretary, Assistant Women Coordinator and Advisor, respectively, for the tenure 2021 to 2024. Imran Khan has been dismissed on Sunday as the Prime Minister after losing a no-confidence vote in the Parliament following weeks of political turmoil. A new Prime Minister will be elected on Monday with Pakistan Muslim League and Chief Shehbaz Sharif as a likely contender. Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz Ayaz Sadiq said that the nomination papers of the new minister will be submitted by 2 p.m. on Sunday, wherein scrutiny will be done by 3 p.m. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday extended greetings on the occasion of Ram Navami and wished happiness, peace and prosperity for all. Notably, Ram Navami is celebrated all over India every year on the last day of Chaitra Navaratri to mark the birth of Lord Rama. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to address the 14th Foundation Day celebration of Umiya Mata Temple on the occasion of Ram Navami at Gathila, Junagadh in Gujarat on Sunday via video conferencing. Notably, the inauguration of the temple was also done by him in 2008 when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. It is to be mentioned that based on the suggestions given by the Prime Minister in 2008, the Temple Trust has expanded its scope into various social and health-related activities as well, such as free cataract operations and free Ayurvedic medicines for economically weaker patients. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated a border viewing point on the lines of Wagha-Atari border of Punjab at Nabadeb in Gujarat's Banaskantha district on Sunday. The border viewing project has been constructed under the Seema Darshan project. Nabadeb, located on the India-Pakistan border as a tourist attraction destination at a cost of rupees 125 crores by the State Tourism Department. The project was initiated with the objective to give the citizens an opportunity to see the lifestyle of the border security force personnel firsthand and to observe their living conditions, duties and patriotism. Telangana ministers led by the Chief Minister KCR along with other MPs and MLAs will hold protest against the centre's paddy procurement policy on April 11. Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao and other ministers will also be present at the Dharna in Delhi on April 11 to protest against the centre's paddy procurement policy. All Telangana Rashtriya Samiti MPs, MLAs, MLCs along with other elected representatives are expected to join the protest. The venue for the protest at Telangana Bhavan is being set up. It may be mentioned that Telangana's demand was that the centre procure paddy produce in the Rabi season from the state under the National Food Security Act. The TRS has accused the centre, especially Union Food and Public Distribution Minister Piyush Goyal, of adopting a discriminatory procurement policy. KCR has claimed that while the centre procures an entire marketable surplus of paddy and wheat in states like Punjab and Haryana, it is not being done in Telangana. Amidst the unprecedented economic crisis in Sri Lanka, the price of rice has been risen to unbearable levels in the island nation. The consumers in the island nation said that rice prices have risen to 200 to 240. Sri Lanka is battling a severe economic crisis with food and fuel scarcity and long power cuts affecting a large number of people in the country. Sri Lanka is also facing a foreign exchange shortage, which has incidentally affected its capacity to import food and fuel. The country is also witnessing protests over the government's handling of the worst economic crisis in the decades. It is to be mentioned that yesterday a protest was held outside the US Embassy in Colombo against the Sri Lankan government. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky and UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson took a walk along the bombed ruins of Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, on Saturday. Following his visit to Kyiv, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson pledged to provide additional financial and military aid to Ukraine in a bid to bolster its resistance against the Russian invasion. During his visit, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson denounced the war crimes that Russian military committed in towns of Busha and Irpin near the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv. Furthermore, Johnson added that Ukraine has defied the odds and pushed back Russian forces from the gates of Kyiv, achieving the greatest feat of arms of the 21st century. Reports have surfaced that Maoists are desperately trying to expand their footprint in the northeast, especially Assam. Notably, intelligence inputs have suggested that Maoists are desperately trying to revive their base in West Bengal's Jungle Mahal. It may be mentioned that Assam and West Bengal share a 127-long inter-border state where Maoist rebels are desperately trying to set up bases. Moreover, security agencies in Assam have intensified their crackdown on Maoist leaders who have been trying to establish a base in the state. It may also be mentioned that several people have been arrested in Assam by the police and other security agencies for their alleged links with Maoists. Longsa Senso Telongjam has felicitated Longsungkumba Ao for representing India at Gamma World Championship and winning silver medal at Longsa Fellowship in Dimapur at 2 p.m. Notably, Longsa Union Dimapur, Longsa Students Union, Longsa Senso Tetsur Telongjam and Longsa Fellowship Dimapur graced the felicitation program and celebrated the achievements of Longsungkumba. During the program, Moamaran Jamir, the executive member of Longsa Union, encouraged the youth to put up their interest in achieving success in their own fields instead of waiting for government jobs.
Specific Mala Dimapur Longsa Union Gangi Pishi Gojibaze, Aro Dimapur Longsa Sunsu Telongjam, Dimapur Longsa student, also itu amai deputado Dimapur Longsa Fellowship ilase. To aman Dimapur Longsa Union Gangi Pishi Gojibaze. Itu man itu ba dikhaise mane unity, aro tanla morom, aro tanla support itu dikina muibi shokti ase man khushi paise man tak achi tak ina kurado koanisna agede koanisna airport paluina monge receive ground bi takani takise aro ajibi aro ite tak itu ina kurado mubi bishi khushi paise. Thank you.
Do amigan Timor Longsa Union na edu ambra initiative lo ase kilole ekta union ase itula union la under the member kiman ase itu to nichur la bacha hoise bal hole bi amen acknowledge karo lage aro kiba olop pia hodam dibe ami gani tik rasta bra lui jabo edo arni union bra initiative lo laga ase itu to ami gan kobo gole ekta colony dibe ekta competition ekta de chitibo nore hona noy aro edo kali ekta district no he state level no he na kintu world champion ko adam de edo to bishi dangor kota ase edo arni ami gan do itu la kushi do kobo nore edo arni achini sina felicitation program ekta do ami gan lo laga ase ekta kota ase amikan yati Longsungkumba bora achievement korise itu nishina Naga youth kan beshi talented ase kintu ekta government bora sabu laga ekta ase kintu kali amikan government he plan kore itu no hoy government bora kora na gole nijor Longsungkumba bi government la sponsor ko thakana nijor bora laga ase nijor kiba mondi ekta kuribu laga ija ase golido kuribu bare kun laga mutup na thakile aru eto borde government brabi sabu laga debi aru bishi ase edo arni government aru chundu edo interest ase sports te tagan miligina edo jabu laga do ekdam amigan bishi height bishi lamba jabu laga ase kali edo government laga noli do kali edo athletes noli do sports person edo laga noy kintu Nagaland de ekta olup amigan sabu laga do kali government he blame gore kintu nijor be sports te olo bal hoise goli do ki hoy rasta biya di jai edo arni choldi dan kolum to biya kolum gadi de edo arni kon sports te ekdam mon thigena gori ase bal gori gena dusar foreign country de kinega mon sup thigena biya rasta na jagena tadi focus gori gena jai edu nishina korisi gole Longsungkumba nishina success to ahibo etu ase. Thank you.
CPIM Central Committee member and former chairperson of the Kerala Women's Commission, MC Josephine, died at the age of 77 in Kannur on Sunday. Reportedly, she collapsed while attending the 23rd Party Congress in Kannur. Notably, the leader had a cardiac arrest and was rushed to AKG Hospital on Saturday. Two people were killed and several injured after Russian forces shelled the Ukrainian town of Derachi in the Kharkiv region on Saturday. According to the governor Oleh Shinirhubov, the Russian forces had carried out 66 artillery attacks across several regions. It may be mentioned that fighting between the Ukrainian and Russian forces continues for the 46th straight day. However, Kharkiv is not the only region which has been shelled in Ukraine. Earlier in the day, 5 civilians were killed and 5 others were wounded in East Ukrainian cities of Vogledar and Novo-Mikhailovka in the Donetsk region. As the fighting has become increasingly fierce in these regions, authorities have urged the residents to evacuate immediately. NATO is working for a permanent military presence in its border in an effort to battle future Russian aggression. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said that what we are seeing now is a new normal for European security and asked military commanders to provide options for a longer-term adaptation of NATO. The Russian invasion of Ukraine has triggered Europe's largest refugee crisis since World War II and led Western nations to rethink their defense policies. Thank you, viewers. That's all from Nltv Primetime News. I'm Rinki Gogoi signing off. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV. Sob Manulagawas.